Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we're doing an Emily Ratajowski Oscars inspired makeup look. I saw this picture on Instagram and I just thought it was amazing, I thought it was beautiful. So I'll leave that link down in the description below. So go look right now. There's gonna be a link. Go look at the makeup. Come back. Okay. So that's the look I'm doing today, and it's really different, kind of like a blue smoky eye, no liner, so kind of like fluffed out the eyeshadow. It's kind of a different look for me, but I'm really enjoying it. So I hope you enjoy this video, and please like and comment, and please subscribe to my channel. If you've got any requests of other videos I could do, then just let me know down below or on Instagram. Okay, thanks for watching, bye! Okay, so to start off with, I've already moisturised my skin. I filled in my eyebrows a little bit, and I've curled my eyelashes and just prepped my lips with a bit of lip balm. And I've just sprayed a bit of MAC Fix Plus on as well. So I've just gone in and used a little bit of this COLECTION Primed and Ready primer. You want to start off with a good base for this because her skin looks very flawless, and primers can help to do that. So now I'm just taking the Pure Correcting Primer. This is in Illuminating Glow. I just dropped it. Looks like that, and it's kind of like this sort of like bronzy colour. It looks kind of darker on camera than it is in person, but this really makes your foundation look very sort of glowy and illuminated, which I really like. So now I'm just going to go in with the MAC Studio Fix Fluid Foundation. Her skin doesn't look too overly matte, which is why I chose this one, and I didn't want to use my NARS one because that one is a lot more matte. This is sort of a demi matte finish, I would say. I'm just going to take this on a normal buffing brush. I'm just going to apply it to my skin. This might look a little bit dark when I first put it on, but it's just the lighting. Okay, so I'm just adding a little bit more foundation because the skin is really flawless in this photograph. Yeah, you don't always have to apply a full face of foundation. This is a little bit more than I would usually put on. But often, if you have a flawless sort of base to work with, it makes other products go on a bit easier and everything just looks a bit more put together. Usually. Okay, you just want to spend quite a long time like buffing this in and working this in because this is a fairly thick foundation, so it looks a lot better if you know, kind of take your time and really buff it into the skin. I'm also going to take this Real Techniques multitask brush and just use that to kind of like fluff out any harsh lines. Okay, yeah, so I'm just going to blend out the edges of that. So as you can see, this foundation isn't sort of like fully matte, it kind of, there's still sort of a reflection to the skin. But you could just use whatever sort of suits you best if you didn't want to go for this sort of finish. Okay, so in this photo she doesn't have a really strong under eye highlight, it's more just like normal concealer. So I'm just going to take the Benefit BOING concealer in the shade 01. I haven't used this in quite a while, but the collection one is really light and I just didn't want it to be too, you know, the skin is just a similar sort of tone all the way over. There's not a really strong under eye highlight. Okay, so I've just primed my eyes with the MAC Soft Ochre paint pot. I was going to use my beauty blender to kind of blend my skin in a bit, but I think it's fine, so I'm going to leave that for now. It's a bit too damp anyway. So I'm just going to go in with the Bare Minerals Mineral Veil powder in, just says Mineral Veil, there's no shade for it, but it's quite a light shade. I used this yesterday for like the first time in ages and I do like it. So and I think with this kind of look you want something that's quite blurring because her skin looks really soft and just like the light sort of diffused. I don't know how to explain it. I'm just going to take this and put it sort of everywhere. You also want to set your eye primer as well because the colours will blend a little bit easier and then it's not overly tacky and it's not going to crease while you're doing other things. So I want to go in and do eyebrows now, and they're kind of like quite fluffy and they're kind of like, yeah, kind of like brushed up and fluffier sort of style, and this isn't something that I would usually do, but we're going to give it a shot because I don't know, usually I just kind of have mine like laid down as much as I can. Okay, so that's the eyebrows done. It took me a little while to sort them out because they went a bit too fluffy and it really doesn't suit me. So I've kind of tamed them back down again. This is similar to how I would usually do them, but just a little bit darker and a little bit fluffier. So we're going to move on to contour because she's got a really nice contour and then like bronzer and sort of blush going on. I've done a little bit already. This is the Pro Artist by Freedom Beauty and this is Contour 03. And I'm just taking this on my Real Techniques contour brush, and you want to just press underneath your cheekbone and sort of fluff the colour under there. I'm just going to contour the nose a little bit. I'm just taking that same brush, I'm just going to kind of like squeeze it like this. I'm just going to sort of run that down the sides of the nose. You don't want to bring the lines too far apart because that can sometimes make your nose look wider. I mean, if that's what you want, then yeah, you can do that, but usually you want to bring them closer towards each other. Sometimes when I do this it just makes me look like I have a broken nose, so if that happens today, I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm going to move on to a bit of bronzer. I'm not going to use a lot of this because this is quite a dark bronzer. This is the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer, and this is the medium deep matte bronzer, but this is just their original one. This isn't that dark. Like, yeah, they made a milk chocolate one as well, but this one is probably best unless you're very, very fair, because the other one doesn't really show up that much. So I'm just going to take this is just a number 7 sort of loose fluffy brush, and I'm just going to sort of add that on top. This isn't as, I wouldn't usually do kind of like contour bronzer and then add blush, but the way it is in the photo is there's quite a lot of sort of colour around there. I'm just going to bring that up the sides of the face as well, and if you can bring this onto the cheek a little bit because the blush is also quite a similar sort of tone anyway. Okay, and I'm just going to blend that out a little bit more with my brush that I use my powder on. If you find that sometimes you've made your bronzer or your contour a little bit too dark, you can use the powder brush that you've used to kind of diffuse it out. See, that's a lot better now. And it can also kind of like lighten up the colour if it's a little bit too dark for you. So we've done contour, we're going to do a little bit of blush. This is MAC's Tenderling blush. This is like a nice light sort of peach colour. This is a sheer tone blush, so there's not a lot of like colour to this. But I kind of like that because I can build it up rather than just putting like a big lump of blush at once and trying to blend it out. It's easier to just build it up slowly. This is quite a powdery blush as well. And I usually wouldn't wear this much, but it's the way it looks in the photo and I like it. This has made me look like so much more tan than I actually am. Yeah, so we've done a bit of contour, bit of bronzer and the blush. I'm going to come back to highlight later. Yeah, okay. So the eyes are already primed. I'm just going to take the Master Drama Kohl pencil. It does seem like there's black around the whole perimeter of the eye, so you want to make sure you get it right into the inner corner as well and along the lower waterline. Okay, so that's the eyeliner all done. I've just smudged it out a little bit as well. I want to go with like a pale transition shade to start off with. So I'm going to take the Kat Von D Metal Matte and I'm going to take this colour here, which is Suede, on like a, this is a Smashbox fluffy brush. I know it looks a bit like, it hasn't got any product on it, it just looks that way. And I'm just going to take this and you want to start fluffing this through the crease, but not bringing it too high because you're going to put the darker colours in there later on. This is also a slightly cooler toned brown, which is good because this is overall quite a cool toned look with the blues and the greys. So you don't want to start off with something too warm because it will just kind of, you know, throw off the overall colour. Okay, and once you've blended that first colour out, this is quite a dark shade, but I think I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to take Stone, which is kind of like a slightly greenish grey colour. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay. Now these shadows are a little bit powdery, so you want to tap off your brush. And this is just an Eco Tools brush with like a rounded edge. And I'm going to start off really small because these are really pigmented and this might go a bit too high up otherwise. And you just want to fluff that into the crease. I'm going to take a little bit of Bone shadow, and I'm just going to kind of, I'm going to mix Suede and Bone together, which are these two light colours here. I'm just going to sort of pop them over that because that colour is a little bit dark for what I wanted it for. And this will also help to blend it out anyway. Okay, and her shadow has sort of like a wing shape, so you want to kind of like make sort of like a V on the outer edge of the eye. Okay, and now I'm just going to take this Morphe M139 brush and I'm just going to sort of fluff those colours together and kind of create like a diffused look on the edge of the eye. Okay, so I know this little bit here looks a little bit patchy, but that's just because of the dry skin that I've got there. So I'm just going to go in with this flat brush and I'm going to take Ignite, which is this beautiful sort of like teal colour. And I'm going to start with this as a base, and I think I'm going to use MAC Teal pigment over the top. So I'm just taking this on a flat brush. I'm just going to start packing this over the lid. And you can kind of blend this up a little bit because it's not too matte up in the crease, it's kind of like shimmery all over, so it's okay if it kind of goes up a little bit high. Okay, so as you can see here, the colour's just going to kind of become up into the crease. So you can just kind of like dab the two colours together and then they kind of like blend out into this sort of colour. Just do the same on this side, just kind of like, yeah, sort of like dab them together. And while you're here, you can also take that Ignite colour and sort of sweep that down onto the lower lash line. Okay, so I'm now going to take Teal pigment from MAC and I'm just going to take a bit off of the lid. This is a beautiful colour. It's really nice. I'm just going to kind of apply this onto the lid. As you can see, it's a lot brighter and more glittery than that Ignite shade, because this is a pigment and not just a not just kind of like a shimmery eyeshadow. And you want, this is a really, it's really bright blue on the lid, so you want to kind of really pat this on there. Okay, and she also has it kind of like under here as well. Okay, so I'm just going back in with that brush that has stone on it, and I'm just going to sort of add, you know, just kind of like blend that a little bit more. And I'm going to take my M139 again and just sort of carry on sort of like blending it. And because there's no winged eyeliner with this look, you want to create like a really fluffy shape around the eye so it doesn't look too like harsh, like the transition between your skin and your eyeshadow. Okay, so I've just blended that out a little bit more. It's gone quite well, I'm quite pleased with it. Right, so we want to, there's a very strong highlight on the brow bone and on the cheekbones and in the inner corner. I'm going to use an eyeshadow for the inner corner and then I might use a highlight for the brow bone. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, so I'm going to take MAC Shroom on this little, this is like a little tiny number 7 brush, just to pop it on the inner corner. I'm going to pick up the shadow on my brush and then I'm going to take some MAC Fix Plus and just spray it on. So if you've got a shimmery eyeshadow but you want it to be kind of like foiled looking, you can use it for that. Because it's really very bright in the inner corner in this photo. Okay, so I was going to use the Glow Kit in Sweets as my brow bone highlight, but as you can see it's not really that bright. So I'm going to go back into MAC Shroom and sort of add that up there. There's a really, really bright highlight just at the very top. So I'm going to go back in with my tiny, tiny little brush. I'm just going to, yeah, kind of pop that out a little bit. It's not quite as bright as she has it, but that's okay. And then I'm just going to quickly blend back over so there's not that kind of like seam there. Okay, so I'm going to go into my Glow Kit in Sweets, and the highlight she's got is kind of, it's a light colour but there's a slight purple twinge to it to me. So I'm going to take Marshmallow and Sassy Grape, and I'm going to kind of like dab between the two. And I'm just going to apply that to the tops of the cheekbones. She has got a little bit on the end of her nose, but we'll do that next. And the highlight comes up quite high as well. Okay, and then I'm taking just Marshmallow on the tip of my brush. I'm just going to run that down the centre of the nose. Okay, so I've just gone ahead and added some mascara. I just used the Benefit Roller Lash. I quite like the way it's looking now. Got the highlight going on, you know, we're looking good. Right, so onto the lips. She's kind of got like this very light, natural sort of colour going on. This kind of slightly darker, looks like she's got a slightly darker lip liner on, then sort of like a light glossy pink colour on the centre of the lips. So I'm going to go in with, this is the KYLIE Dolce K lip pencil, and I'm just going to kind of see what we can get. These are really creamy, by the way. So I'm just taking the Tanya BURR Picnic in the Park lip gloss, and I'm just going to kind of concentrate that in the centre. Okay, so we are all done. The only way... Okay, so we are all done with this look. This is a really different thing for me because it's kind of like blue, cool tones. I'm so used to using warm tones all the time. I really like how this turned out, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. Okay, bye!